Blog Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome to Psychic Tapestry. I'm Ken Kessler, and she's Toni DeMaio. Hi, Toni.
Hi, Ken. Hi, everybody. Happy almost Halloween.
Almost Halloween. It is Tuesday, October 26th, and we are live. Phone lines are open. 347-838-9903 is the number. There's some folks who are already hanging on the line. My folks are already on the line. We'll try and get to you soon. If you wanted to call tonight, sooner is better than later. I probably say that every time we're here, and it's always true. There are a couple other ways you can connect. The chat room is now open, so if you're listening on the Blog Talk Radio website, you can scroll down, pop in the chat room, and join me in there. You can also connect through social media, facebook.com/Psychic Tapestry or @Psychic Tapestry on Twitter. Phone's the best. If you have follow-up questions for us, we may have them for you, and the back and forth of the conversation is much easier on the phone than it is typing it into the chat room or into social media. That said, we get that you might not be able to call in. Maybe you're at work, or maybe you're doing something that makes it difficult or impossible to call in. Maybe you just don't want to. You don't like the way your voice sounds, or you want the anonymity, or something else that we hadn't even thought of. Whatever the case is, that's why those other options are available to you. Tonight, we'll see how this works. We have talked recently about Toni's books. In fact, there's a link on our Facebook and Twitter pages to her Amazon page. So if you're interested, and you should be, you can go check that out.
Aww.
But we've talked about Toni's books, and we've talked about past lives, and we've talked about spirit guides. And I kind of wanted to sort of combine all of that into one thing. I was talking to Toni before we started, and I said, we talk about spirit guides, and how to figure out who they are and how to connect and kind of stuff, but we don't really talk a lot about what to do with that. And I said, for example, you connected with your past life, and your guides help you funnel all of that into these books.
Yes.
And that's just one example. I am not suggesting that everybody gets their guides to help them tap into a past life and write a book about it, because we're all different. We're all here to do different things and learn different things. And you made a great point about past lives that you should probably make to more than just.
I'm sorry that you kind of got garbled up. What did you say?
Oh. Oh, it was genius what I said. I'm sorry that you missed it. No, I said that you made a really good point when we were talking before the podcast started. You made a really good point about past lives, and I think they should share that with everybody instead of just with me.
Oh, that. Oh, yes. Well, I've been taught, I guess, when I studied with Marianne Michaels, that you really aren't supposed to be remembering your past lives. Sometimes children do, because they are closer to the other side because they just came over. So a lot of children will remember, that they are magical beings, and they remember that they're spirit, and they'll say all kinds of things. And but normally we don't remember. But I did as a child. I started to have these memories, and it was like watching a movie. I would have these sudden visions, or I would have a dream and then wake up. But I guess to connect that to my spirit guide, I literally was talking to my spirit guide in the womb. I remember that I was alone but never alone. And there was this voice, and he would just talk to me, And I think I heard him a lot more when I was little. But now it's the claircognizance, which is the inspired thought. It's almost like a ticker tape of words comes across the screen of my mind. I don't have to close my eyes to see it either. It's very specific. It's just louder than anything else is the best way to put it. So I might be talking to you and he's telling me stuff. And I can do both things. But what he's telling me, I have to pay attention to. I mean, he'll keep at it until I do. And that's how I receive my guidance. And also in readings, we work together in the readings. So he's telling me stuff like, go ahead and say this, and I'll be arguing back in my head, but that sounds crazy. And he'll say, but it's not. Go ahead and do it, because you're going to be really mad if you don't. And he's right, because then that's the next thing the person will tell me. And it's even better if you can say it first as a psychic than to say, oh, yeah, I kind of knew that. No, that doesn't work. But anyway, I'm so far off track, but you said to tie all this together. So lead me. What do you want now? What do you want me to say now?
But the point that I think is important is that we're not all supposed to remember our past lives,
right.
and there are a lot of reasons for that. I mean, the most significant, I think, is that we're here for a specific reason this time around.
Right. Yep.
And
that's it.
Lives, you were there for different reasons in most cases.
Yep.
And it just sort of muddies things. It's very appealing to think about who you might have been and what you might have been like and what you might have done. I get the attraction of that, but and I've said on this podcast many times that I have no real feeling about my past lives.
Yeah, that's good.
Because
that's
of
good.
the nature of what we do here. I know bits and pieces of things, but I'm not compelled to figure it all out because I don't feel like I need to.
No, you don't. You don't have loose ends. You don't have any loose ends. You did what you're supposed to.
And I think that's the case for a lot of us. Mm-hmm. But we hear about the idea of past lives, and it's very interesting, and we all want to know. And I think that's something that if you feel that way, I think something you just need to let go of, because you don't need. If you needed to, you would.
Absolutely.
It's really that simple, and it's really that complicated also, because then you wonder, well, am I missing the signs that I'm supposed to know? No, you're not.
No,
you're not. Your guides, whether you're aware of your guides or not, if there was something important in your past lives that you needed to deal with this time around,
they would have you discover it.
Yeah. They would help you figure it out. Whether you're actively working with them or not, they would be helping you figure it out, because that's part of what guides do. But
that's right.
But most of us don't need to know. And like Toni said, you're not really supposed to know to make anybody afraid of knowledge. But it really it just doesn't have bearing on why you're here this time around.
And then again, if you do remember your past life and you seem to recognize the people that are in your life as having been in the past life, that's why you're remembering it. Because in my case, that's why. Because this whole lifetime that I've lived this time has been all about the past life and coming back with the same people and working my relationships out with them, so that, even though I didn't stay married to all the husbands, I at least left each husband on good terms. Like I was friends, and I could go back and talk to any of the ones that are still alive. I could do that. because I'm like friends. I'm friends with everybody, and I'm happy about that. It feels really good, and And also, when I was little, I had a sense that part of my life purpose was to write a book. I didn't yet know why I was going to write that book until I was 7, and Archangel Michael came and took me out of bed and brought me to that outer space thing, whatever. It was like a piece of heaven, it looked like, with the tree of life. And we all these little kids stood holding hands around the tree of life that was suspended on a cloud. Such a beautiful place. We were in a meadow, and he came around and told each of us what we were supposed to do. And part of mine was to show the thread of love that it just doesn't die, that our love connections with our loved ones probably, have been happening over centuries and past lives into the present and then beyond, that love never dies. So that was part of my life purpose. And one of the big theme of the book is that the love survives.
But for most of us, we don't have that feeling of a connection to a past life. And I know, and there are probably people who are listening to this who go, well, how do I know? I don't know what that connection would feel like. How do I know that I don't? How would I know? And as I wish there was a better answer to this, but you would know. Mm-hmm. You would know. And
you have a sense of it, connection.
And that you don't means that that's not something that you need to worry about.
It's a good thing. Then you've tied up all your loose ends. You accomplished in those other lifetimes what you came to do. And you're probably doing a good job on this one, too, accomplishing whatever it was. That's all good.
Now, as far as working with your guides, it's really kind of limitless what you can work on with your guides. It really is, and it's also the kind of thing that you just know. When you make that connection with your guide, you get that feeling about something that it's about. And that's your intuition, and it's hard to learn to trust that, because we'll feel like, well, if I'm working with this guide, it's got to be something huge and big and life-altering. And sometimes maybe that is the case, and sometimes it doesn't have to be that giant a thing. And sometimes your guides are there to help you with whatever you feel like you need help with. So again, that feeling that you get is correct of what it is that you're going to work on or what it is you'd like to. Toni, I know you teach classes on this. How do you suggest that somebody connects with their guide and gets to that next step of what they're supposed to do or what they should do or how to work with that guide?
Well, like you said, it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. It can just be being connected to your guide so that you can more efficiently be guided to the places where you're supposed to interact with opportunity, let's say. So if you can get close to your guide and identify how the guide communicates with you, because it is different for different people. Like, I have all the clairs, so he uses all the clairs. He'll give me visions. He'll give me, the inspired thought. He'll talk to me, and I might hear it disembodied. And or he'll give me gut feelings. But the average person just sometimes, all the time, gets a hunch, let's say, or a gut feeling. That's an easy one. or they just know, I'm not supposed to go that way tonight home. I should go that way. And average people tell me this all the time. People who don't consider themselves at all psychic, they then have the aha moment of, that's what the guidance is. That's what it is. And I call it that little voice between your head and your heart that gives you the best advice. That we don't, it's not a big dramatic thing. The guide doesn't come with a soundtrack. And, it's just the way you've been operating since birth is the way you're guided. And it's so subtle. It isn't always dramatic.
And it's not the same for everyone.
No,
which is something that I
think abilities.
I think it's hard for people to sort of wrap brains around that it's different, because you want a recipe, you want the steps, you want to know that I get this kind of crystal or this kind of pendulum, and it does this, and I feel that, okay, this guide is here, and I don't know. And then I roll the dice, and it's a 7, so that means that they're here to do this, and
most people want it to be dramatic and very specific and like, ta-da, and then the guide speaks, and then they'll know that it was the guide. But it isn't like that. It's the way like I said, the way they've been operating since birth. They just haven't identified that that's the guide. It's not them. Because, you have your aha moments where you get a thought in your head that you shouldn't have had. You shouldn't have had that. You wouldn't have had it on your own. It's inspired thought, which is really good. Now, you had asked me also, how would I recommend people at home who might want to start this journey and aren't anywhere near a class? I would say to go to YouTube and type in guided meditation to meet your spirit guide. You'll get like 150 of them from the master teachers of today. And they're all free. And you can pick the ones that resonate with you. Do a different one every day. But be consistent with it. And eventually you'll have more of a sense of your guide. Either a color, a feeling, whether it's male, whether the main guide is male or female. You might even have a vision of their face. It could be any of those things. But you'll get something that'll help you to identify when they're around. Color is the most common one from what I've seen in my classes.
And there is that your intuition will kick in, and you'll have a sense of what this relationship with this guide is about. And a lot of times we have trouble trusting that, so we're not sure, and we don't know what to do or what to say or how to react, or no, this can't be right. I don't know why this guide is here. I don't know what to say, and we get afraid of making the connection because we don't think that we're good enough or strong enough or whatever enough, and it's your guide, and they love you, and they're here to help you, and your hunch is right, and you just have to figure out a way to trust it. And I know that's not easy, and I still have time struggling. I still struggle with that from time to time. But there will be that kind of knowing. Like, I connected with a guide, I don't remember, several years ago, and it was a guide, because some guides stay with you for long periods of time and some short periods of time, and this was one who came in and was just going to work with me on one particular aspect, one particular area of my life. And I immediately knew this was about gratitude, and it wasn't anything that they had said. I just knew that, and we did work on that, and I knew when I connected with him that I knew when it was the last time that I had learned whatever it was he was there to help me with. And now it was up to me to put it into practice and to get better at it. But he had done what he was going to do. And I just knew that without him having to say it. And there is just that kind of knowing, but you just have to trust that. And it really, it's that simple and it's that hard at the same time. You just have to trust that. Sue is in the chat room and she wants to know, she says, how do you know if you're seeing a past life or you are channeling a life of someone that has passed on?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. And I remember as a little girl, I just had the sense that was me, because I would see it like a movie sometimes, and I would see myself, someone that was older than me, but I knew it was me, even though I looked similar to this girl in coloring and things like that, and just personality traits to an extent, but it, she was different in that lifetime. But let's say now I would know because the guide would tell me. I wouldn't have a sense of, this is my life, I think. If I had a vision of another life, I've really only had interest in that one that was relevant to this lifetime. I don't really want to know all my past lives. I really don't.
No, I don't.
But,
I don't either.
Yeah. But if people ask me in a reading to if I could pick up on their past lives, sometimes I can, and I'll get a vision of something that, I'll see them in a certain period, and any time I share with what I'm getting for them, it always has a deep meaning for the person. They'll go, I dream about that very scene, or I knew that because I've always loved that period in history, But I don't go too deep into it because I don't want to mess with that, because I don't feel like I should, because, they're supposed to either remember it naturally and there's a reason, or not remember it. But if people ask me, I'll see if I get anything for them.
For me, I've had glimpses of pieces of past lives before, and I didn't always know what they were. But when I have connected with someone in spirit and they show me things, there's a bit of a separation. It doesn't feel like it's happening to me. It feels like I'm seeing something else. Whereas when I have had connections to pieces of my past lives, I was in it. I was there, and it felt like what was going on was happening to me.
Yeah,
and
you
I
do
think
have
that,
a sense of that.
Yeah, I think that is the biggest difference. And again, that's for me. I don't know that this is the same for everybody, but I feel like the main difference is that when you are getting a glimpse of one of your past lives, you have that feeling that you're in it, that whatever is happening to you, even if that doesn't look like the way you think you look. Whereas if somebody in spirit is showing you something, it's like you're watching somebody else do something. It doesn't feel
it's different.
There isn't that connection. And I hope that answers your question too. But that is a good question. And it
was.
And it's not and it's not the same. It's just not the same for everybody. And the way you connect with your guides is not the same. Meditation, I think, is a great way to start. If you haven't connected before, and like Toni said, there are lots of. We have a meditation page at psychictapestry.com with some meditations that are free that'll help you there. There are lots more on YouTube, so you can find one that works for you, because everything that's on there is not necessarily going to work for you. You just have to find the one that feels right, and make those connections, and then don't let that be the end of it. You make that connection. Try and remember what that feels like when you are when you make that connection, so that you're more familiar with the way it feels when that guide is around. And the more you pay attention to that, the more you will know. Sue has a follow-up. She says, do you pick up body feelings that can stay with you days later in a past life? I had a past life. I had horrible back pain, and I felt very, very tall. This and the way they died, I felt the pain for a couple of days later. Can you still feel this with past lives?
Wow, it sounds like she's a physical medium. I've trained people that were physical mediums. I'm not. I don't take on the feelings of other people. During the readings or their past lives, I don't take on the physical pain of anything. But that's my choice. I'm not doing that. I don't let anybody jump in me either. Some people do. But that's really fascinating. She's interesting.
I can tell you, for me, I connected with a past life of, and I don't know the exact time period because I didn't feel like I needed to meddle with it, but where I was trapped in a cave-in.
Oh,
and
Lord.
I had several bouts of claustrophobia after that, just residual from that experience. And I'd never had claustrophobia before in my life, but there have still been times, even the last time was probably about a year ago, where I just had that feeling that was just
powerful.
Yeah, it's very powerful, and it was just left over. And that's more, I guess, mental than physical pain, but that's all that's the only experience that I have that's similar to that. So it's not exactly what you're asking, Sue, but I guess it's similar. I did have recurring bouts of that, very powerful, and it's been a challenge to get that back under control. And to be honest, I don't know if it is now. I haven't been in a situation that was that could be claustrophobic for a couple of years.
It's a thing, though. What was the name of the doctor that from Florida who did that first book about the past life regression? He's a psychologist. I can't remember. Brian Weiss.
Is that Weiss? Yeah.
Yeah. And he's worked with people who had things like you're saying, claustrophobia, issues that were explained by the past life regressions that he did with them, and then he was able to get to the root of why they were having all these issues, and they were able to get rid of them and move past it once they identified it as having been in a past life. I have heard stories of people having a strange, like almost it looks like a scar in a certain place on their body, and then they find out that in a past life they had an operation in that place, but they come back with the imprint of the scar. I've heard of that. And,
I feel like
all kinds of stuff.
I feel like what's happened to me is almost a reverse of that, because I've heard many stories of people who had different kinds of phobias, claustrophobia, of heights, different kinds of fears, and they were able to do past life regression and figure it out, and those fears went away. And this is opposite of that. I never had this kind of problem.
Trauma.
Yeah,
that was a big,
I never
scary
had that
trauma.
before. And the last time was probably about 2 years ago when I was on a plane, and there's nowhere you can go when you're on a plane.
No.
And it was really tough. And the thing that I did that helped was I grabbed the in-flight magazine, whatever it was, and I read it cover to cover, every article.
That's what to do.
And it helped. It gave me something else to focus on, and
very smart.
And it helped. And it didn't matter that I did not care about this interview, whatever it was on page 17 or whatever, anything. I read every single word cover to cover, and it took a lot of time, and I was able to calm down, and I was able to get a handle on things, and but it was very powerful, and and it doesn't happen enough that I feel like this is a problem I need to get some help with, but it is a reversal of what I have heard about people who have different kind of traumas associated with a past life, and then they do a regression and they figure it out, and the phobia goes away. And I feel like this has been the reverse of that, but it doesn't happen. It like I said, it has been like 2 years since I've had that feeling. So, and I feel like maybe it has been gone, because it occurs to me that 2 or 3 months ago I got stuck in an elevator for about half an hour, and I was the only one in there, and it was a small elevator, but I was okay. I mean, I wasn't happy that I was stuck in an elevator, and it was very warm.
Look at that. You handled that well.
But I wasn't freaking out. I didn't have those feelings. So maybe whatever that was is gone. I don't know.
But I don't feel like
it. Yeah, and I don't know why that little piece of my past life showed up when it did. It didn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it means anything, or like it has any kind of connection to anything that I'm doing or dealing with. So I don't really want to poke at it, and and unnecessarily. I don't feel any connection to it or anything. And I've talked to enough people who do this kind of stuff, and I'm pretty sure, Toni, that if you felt, if your guide was telling you, or if you felt that there was something here that I needed to address, you probably would have said something to me. So.
Oh yeah. The only past life that I've ever felt for you was on a ship, that you loved the ocean and that you were on this ship and just traveling this guy that was on an old-fashioned sailing ship, and you loved the heck out of that thing, and you could do everything on that ship. And I don't have any sense of your death or, why. I know that, but I do know that you love the ocean. Now,
I do love the ocean.
Yeah.
I do love the ocean. I could sit on a bench at the beach watching the ocean for hours and be absolutely at peace and entertained and everything. So that's cool.
It was
but
just a nice,
anyway,
life.
I hope that
you enjoyed it.
I hope that this bit of conversation about past lives and about spirit guides has been of some value and helps you. You're always welcome to, if you're on the phone and you have questions about that, any of the stuff we were talking about, you can certainly feel free to bring that up. You can also reach out to us through social media or the website and with your questions too, or pop in the chat room like Sue did while we're still here for the next 25 minutes or so. And we'll try to answer that. But we're going to shift gears now and try and get to as many calls as we can and that we've got left. The number is 347-838-9903. Before we pick up the first call, Toni, you should explain yourself. Tell everybody who you are and why you're here.
I think they have an inkling, though, from listening to the talk. My name is Toni DeMaio, and I've been on Earth a long time, and I've been psychic the whole time. And I'm very happy to be able to use my gift of hearing my guide, and my guide will be talking to your guides, and the information that we give you will filter through the guidance system. So those are messages that are very reliable. And I do turn cards over mostly for my own confirmation on this end. And that's what we're going to do. Now I'm going to give it back to Ken so he can tell you about him.
Yay. Okay.
Yay.
Well, hi, I'm Ken. And I push the buttons here, and I'm a psychic medium and a music intuitive. I get most of my information through songs, through singers and musicians on the other side. And for the purposes of tonight, I have what I call a psychic jukebox. I actually have 11 of them on Spotify, and if you're interested, there's a link on our website for psychic jukeboxes. You can find out more. But basically, each one of these has thousands of songs loaded into them, and I start one of them. I'm using psychic jukebox number 4 tonight. I started shuffling randomly before the podcast begins, and I invite my guides and angels and your guides and angels to give me the song that is for you. So when you call in, I'll let you know what song is playing and what I think it means for you. And the thing about music, one of the things about music, is that it's so personal that I can tell you that Celine Dion and the Power of the Dream was playing, and I can tell you about Celine, and I can tell you about the song, and all of that is great, but it could have a personal meaning for you that's different. Something in you just clicks when I say Celine Dion, the Power of the Dream, and that's okay. That's how it works sometimes. Angels and spirit like to use what's in our head as the readers to give you, to trigger in you what you need to know. And sometimes it's just as simple as saying Celine Dion. So, by the way, I'm not getting paid to see how many times I can say her name tonight, but you get the idea. So, with all of that said, I know it was a lot. We're going to head to the phone. Again, the number is 347-838-9903. And here we go. Hey, thanks for hanging on. What's your first name?
Hi, my name is Lisa. Thank you so much.
Hi, Lisa.
You're very welcome. Where are you calling from, Lisa?
Hi.
Calling from Connecticut.
And how can we help you tonight?
Oh, I think my guides are on vacation and they lost their luggage and I can't get back.
Oh. What's going on, honey? What's going on?
I am lost. I'm hoping for some guidance.
Okay. Well, I have a listening card first in the Archangel, Heal with the Archangels. And they're saying that you are in communication with your angels, and the messages that you receive are very real, and that you can trust them. This is a card of validation from your angels that you really are hearing them. You have been receiving repetitive messages through your feelings, dreams, visions, inner voice, or knowingness. Are you listening and trusting the messages, and are you following them? If you get an inclination to call someone, to go somewhere, to read something, it's important to follow the guidance. And by drawing this card, your angels ask you to give all your doubts, all your worries about divine guidance to them. Know that you truly are communicating with heaven and enjoy the conversation. And you have a very strong faith, and they just absolutely adore you. And the second card is about healing. It's saying a situation in your life right now is causing you concern, but it is on the mend. You are a natural healer yourself, and your healing thoughts are manifesting into form. like your prayers of healing. Sometimes the situation cannot heal until you release the challenge completely, so that healing light can enter. Your worries will soon be over because this card signifies that a healing is occurring. And to realize this healing, you must first stop focusing on what is wrong about a situation and instead affirm everything is in divine hands and perfect order right now. They're reminding you again that you do have natural healing abilities, and the angels are working through you as an earth healing angel. So hold thoughts of love around any situation that needs healing in your life. I know that Liliana is having some digestive issues. Yes. So put your hands on her and channel God's love and healing to her. You're also a Reiki practitioner, I know, so you can use your Reiki, and prayer is such a powerful healer. So visualize that the situation is healed right now. See her and yourself as being perfectly whole and healed. Then give thanks to God for this healing and completely release everything to the angels. The powerful effects of your healing work will touch many lives. So just try to give those things to God and the angels that you cannot control, and it will help you to feel better for sure, honey. I'm going to give you to Ken now, too, so you get a message from him. Thank you so much for calling, Lisa.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, honey.
Hi, Lisa. The song that was playing when we picked up your call was Losing My Religion by R.E.M. Do you know that one?
Nope.
Okay. It was a big hit in, let's see, 1990-ish, I think.
Yep.
That's me in the corner. That's me in the spotlight, losing my religion. And I think what this means is that you're concerned about losing your faith, your connections, and I think you feel like, I feel like you're putting a spotlight on that you're worried, that you're more worried about losing that than is necessary, because you're not. But you're more concerned about it, and that keeps you from making those connections. Not because you can't, not because your guides have gone on vacation and are never coming back, but because you're more concerned for whatever reason that you have lost that, and you haven't lost that. You just have to believe in you and just be open to it. And something that we didn't talk about when we were talking about spirit guides is you don't have to worry ever that your guides are upset at you, angry at you, disappointed in you, any of that kind of stuff. They're way beyond those human emotions. They love you, and they want the best for you. They want you to succeed in everything you do, and they want you to be happy, and they want to help you in any way that they can. And a lot of times we get down on ourselves and we don't feel that we're worthy of that. And you need to just stop that kind of thinking. It's easy for me to say that, I know. But just know that they love you, and they're ready and standing by, and they haven't lost their luggage, and they're ready to help you. And take whatever time you need to get yourself in a place where you're ready to accept that. Does that make sense?
My 88-year-old aunt, this makes perfect sense, because she said to me, Lisa, life is not supposed to be this hard. Why is everything so wrong for you? And I said, I don't know where God is. I think he's forsaken me. And I just said that last night for the first time out loud, because that's the way I feel.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. I think I understand feeling that way. I've been there. So I'm not going to be a hypocrite and tell you snap out of it, because I totally get it. Just what you need to remember is that your guides love you no matter what, and they're ready to help you. And sometimes the help is just that they're around and you're not alone. And that might seem like a little thing to some people, but it's not. It's a big thing. To know that you're not alone, to know that there are these others who think the world of you and who are so ready to cheer you on, and they're ready just to hang out with you. I saw a great thing, a meme on Facebook about Eeyore from the Winnie the Pooh stories, where it talked about he had, obviously, if he was a character that was made today, people were ready to diagnose him with different kinds of depression and all this other stuff. But he had this group of friends always wanted him to be with them. They wanted to be together. And it didn't matter that he didn't feel like he deserved it or didn't want to play in the games or whatever. That was okay with them. They were just happy to be around him. And I'm sure that I'm getting it way wrong from the way it was written. It was probably written much better than the way I said it. But that's the gist of it. And it's like those are his guides. They understand that they understand when you're not happy, when you're having bad days, when you're having a string of bad days, weeks, months, whatever. They understand that, and they still love you, and they still want to be around you, and they are around you. And sometimes just knowing that they're there, even if you don't know what to ask, how to ask for help, or even what you want the help with, just know that they're around you, and that they love you, and they're ready to help you when you're ready.
Thank you.
I hope that helps.
Thank you for calling, honey.
Thank you for being there, both of you. God bless you both.
God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Lisa.
Right back at you,
We
Lisa.
love you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. 347-838-9903 is our number. That's what it is. Hi, thanks for hanging on. What's your first name?
My name's Lisa.
Hi,
You're
Lisa.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, where are you calling from?
New Mexico.
And how can we help you tonight?
Yeah, I'm just I'm in a cycle right now where some things are coming to an end for me, and I just wanted to know what the energies are coming up for me.
Okay. The first card that I pulled for you is in a deck called Archangel Power. And it's the page of Raphael, who is a healing angel. And it's saying your feelings can be so enlightening. This card is speaking to a message with great emotional impact. Your psychic gifts may be rising to a new level, and you may suddenly find yourself in love with a brand new project or endeavor, like a new job, a new everything. And this card may represent a person who stirs up your romantic or emotional life. Communication is very important, especially if the person is someone you're already involved with. So the additional meaning of the card is accept social invitations. You may meet a special new friend, and you may be given, I think, confidential information, which is interesting. Don't know if that resonated with you, but it did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I was given confidential information last night. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it was very helpful.
Good. I'm so glad, honey. And the second card is the Nine of Raphael, another one with Archangel Raphael. I'm thinking he is your archangel. They're saying make a wish. Yep. Now your hopes and dreams can become a reality. Financial and material gratification will flow to you as a reward for all the hard work that you've done. Your worries will fade. Your fears will dissolve. The angels want you to remember that life is magical. Beauty and happiness are yours. Life feels joyful, and there is finally an opportunity to kick back and have some fun.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay? It is cool. And now I'm going to give you to Ken for his messages. I have a feeling things are about to shift for you in a big way. All good.
Yeah. I had a situation where I was dealing with some people that were like attacking me online.
Yeah.
And, it went on for like a whole month, and then today she made a statement to somebody I know confidentially that she was going to stop doing it.
Wow.
And I want to believe it, but she's, relentless and a narcissist, basically. And so it's hard for me to, part of me today is like, oh my God, is it over? I hope
pray
so.
to God it is, honey.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Hi, Lisa.
And now Ken. Yes.
And now Ken. Ta-da.
Ta-da.
The song that was playing was a song from a heart from the mid-'80s called Wait for an Answer. Wasn't a hit. Unless you're a big Heart fan, you probably don't know the song.
Sorry, I hit a key on my phone back.
That's okay.
Okay, wait for an answer. I'll look it up.
Okay. You don't really need to. I mean,
sense.
The title.
I don't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, the title is really all you need to know. And I don't even know what to add to that. Wait for an answer. It seems kind of obvious. The thing is that we get so caught up in the spinning of our own wheels that we don't always wait for the answer to the things that we ask for, that we ask for help with. We don't always listen for the answer, and the answer is not always exactly what we want, so sometimes we don't pay attention to it either. But a lot of times we just lose the answer in the noise of impatience. And why is it? Why don't I know yet? Why hasn't it happened? Why haven't things changed?
Exactly. I've been asking that for 30 days. I'm like, when are these people going to leave me alone? Like, come on, hurry up.
Yeah.
Very impatient for that. It was very hurtful what happened. Very hurtful.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. And I wish it was a better answer than wait for an answer, because I hate waiting for anything. But waiting can be cathartic because you can breathe if you will let yourself, and you can think about whatever it is you want to think about in whatever direction, and try not to focus on the one thing that you're waiting for an answer on. Live your life and do other things, and the answer will come. Well, thank you for calling us. I hope that helps.
Thank
you,
guys.
Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. We don't have a whole lot of time left. Do you want to try and cram in one more?
Yep.
All right. Let's try and see if we can do this one quickly. Hi. Thanks so much for hanging on. What's your first name?
Pamela.
Hi, Pamela. Where are you calling from?
Hi.
Michigan. Hi.
Oh,
How can we help you tonight?
Hey, everybody. Well, I just have this ongoing, I don't know what it's called. It's not for my eyes, I think. It's not even a conflict. I've just stopped communicating with someone I was very close with. I tried to stay in touch, and then I just finally gave up. And I don't know if that's ever going to come back. I mean, I don't think it's her idea to not be out of contact with me, but there's a lot of drama around everything.
Right.
But it was somebody I was really close with, I worked with. There was a mutual crush, there was flirtation, and now there's nothing since I left that job. Yeah, so.
Well, I've got two really great cards for you. The first one is new love. A new chapter in your love life begins, whether it's with a new partner or rekindled love in a current relationship. But open your heart to a new infusion of love through a new partner or a partner in your life. The angels are preparing you to be aware of new people entering your life, as a new mate may be unlike your previous partners. So be open to changes in your current relationships. And didn't that just happen? That might explain it. Don't cling tightly to ideas of how you think relationships should be. This is a time of wondrous changes in your love life, and you are asked to trust God and your guardian angels to work things out for your highest good. Changes in your love life will only be painful if you are rigid in your thoughts or behaviors. If you flow with the current of love, you'll find that old parts of your love life wash away. They are rapidly replaced by new aspects that will delight you, while current relationships may end or fall away, or they may act as a transition into a new phase of passion and renewed love, or a new partner may enter your life, inspiring great happiness for you both. And the second card, which I'll do so quickly because I want to give you to Ken, is a new beginnings card. Basically, a clean slate is presented to you as you now encounter fresh opportunities, novel experiences. So embrace the new in your life, including new opportunities, new people, new projects. Okay, honey? And now because of time, I have to give you right to Ken. But something new is coming.
So off with the old, this thing is over?
I don't know for sure, but it said it could be a rekindling.
Oh, right. That's
but it's a new beginning, so it could be one of those two things, but it's love, and it's coming, and it's definite.
That's nice. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Hi, Pamela. I know we're running out of time really fast, and if you know this song, it'll probably make you laugh, but the song I was playing is by Todd Rundgren. It's called Hello, It's Me. Do you know that?
Oh, I love that song.
Okay. Hello, It's Me. I thought about it for a long, long time.
Let me reintroduce myself since we haven't talked in a long time.
Exactly.
There you go.
And that's something I would do.
And I think that's something that you should consider doing, not because it's going to make everything better, but it will make it easier for you to move forward, whether it's in this relationship or whether it's somewhere else, because it'll give you some closure. If you force the issue, hello, this is me. I've thought about us a long, long time. Maybe I think too much, but something's wrong. That's how the song opens, and I think that's great advice.
Fabulous.
And I'm sorry that had to be so fast, but Blog Talk Radio is about to cut us off, whether we're ready or not.
All right, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for calling us tonight.
Have a good night.
Thanks, you too. Bye-bye. Thanks to everybody that did call in tonight. Apologies to the handful who are still on the phone. We just couldn't get to everybody. But we'll try. We'll be back again 2 weeks from tonight. You can always go to psychictapestry.com, click on our readers and teachers, and connect with Toni or with me or with my wife Lisa or any of the folks who pop up on Psychic Tapestry from time to time and book a private reading. Otherwise, thanks for listening. We really appreciate it. We love you. And Toni, thank you for giving up part of your Tuesday again.
It's my total pleasure. I love you all.
Thanks again, everybody. We hope you have a great couple of weeks. Happy Halloween. Take care and stay safe. And remember to tell those close to you that you love them. We'll catch you in 2 weeks.
Bye, everybody.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.